Move over, Labubu's, because collecting trading cards seems to be the hot new trend. So it got me thinking about some of Nintendo's ventures into trading cards. Well, funnily enough, Nintendo started out in the playing card business. In fact, Fusajiro Yamauchi founded Nintendo for the purpose of producing handcrafted Hanafuda cards. Unlike your traditional playing cards, these are thick, rectangular, hard-feeling cards. The backs are usually plain, but on the front you get different kinds of artwork. There was a time in my life where I was really into Hanafuda and I could probably tell you all of the rules, but after years of brain rot, I definitely could not tell you how to play today. From the very little I remember, there are several types of cards, similar to suits with traditional playing cards. You can tell by the type of flower seen on the cards. So for example, you have a set of cherry blossom cards, a set of maple cards, a set of bush clover cards, etc. Furthermore, the artwork seen on the card determines the point value assigned to it. So these plain cards that just have the flower on them are worth 1 point. These Tanzaku cards that have this ribbon on them are worth 5 points. These cards that have animals or other types of objects on them are worth 10 points. And these cards are basically your ult, being worth 20 points. Now there are different ways to play Hanafuda. The way that I used to play, you basically just match 2 flower cards while gaining the total point value of the cards. Now you could also get bonus points by getting a Yaku, which is a combination of 3 cards, such as the 3 matching ribbon cards. Again, this is totally just based on my potato memory of how to play this game, and this is just scratching the surface of the rules to Hanafuda. But as for the cards themselves, there's something really satisfying about the construction of Hanafuda cards. Since they are thicker, you won't find them bending and creasing like traditional playing cards. These are super sturdy and quality feeling cards. They also have a bit of a slippery or glossy feel to them, which is nice when you're shuffling or laying out the cards on a table. The artwork is absolutely iconic. Each type of card feels very unique and interesting to look at, and the patterns make it very easy to recognize which cards match together. Speaking of the artwork, since this is Nintendo we're talking about, of course they've also released many themed Hanafuda decks. There were Pokemon Hanafuda cards which incorporate different Pokemon into the card art, and even Mario Pikachu Hanafuda cards, which once again features Pokemon alongside the card art, but also Pikachu cosplaying as Mario and Luigi. Now the one that I have here is the Mario Hanafuda card set. They did have Mario themed Hanafuda cards as a reward for Club Nintendo back in the day, but this one is just the one that you can buy from the My Nintendo store. These cards incorporate Mario characters into the artwork. So we have cards like Peach with the cherry blossoms and Yoshi sitting in the tree, and I also think it's cute that they incorporate other Mario themed elements as well. So for example, we have Mario here stomping on a Goomba or Toad along with some coins. I am such a sucker for Mario themed products, so I absolutely love these cards. And hey, if you're interested in playing Hanafuda, you could always learn through Clubhouse Games 51 Worldwide Classics on the Nintendo Switch. This card game makes for a really fun rainy day activity. Now, Nintendo's first video game related cards came in the early 2000s with the Nintendo e-reader. This was a Game Boy Advance accessory that allowed you to scan special e-reader cards like a credit card. While not actual trading cards per se, these cards were sold in several different packs. The way that they worked was by using dot code to encode data onto the card. And so what you would do is swipe the cards in the Nintendo e-reader, and it would give you different types of content for different games, essentially making this the original Amiibo before Amiibo. Now, with such a novel idea, I'm sure this was a huge hit. It was discontinued in North America due to lack of popularity and didn't even make its way to Europe at all. Well, there are quite a few glaring issues with the e-reader. First of all, since the e-reader would be taking up the cartridge slot on your Game Boy Advance, that meant you would need either a second Game Boy Advance or a GameCube with the Game Boy player to actually play the corresponding game. And if that wasn't enough, you also had to use a special link cable just to connect the two Game Boys together. This is starting to feel like a science project more than a fun Nintendo video game. The other glaring issue comes from the cards themselves. While I didn't have the e-reader growing up, there have been many people saying that scanning the e-reader cards could be kind of finicky, where you could get multiple errors while swiping the cards. Plus, there were just a lot of cards that needed to be scanned. For example, there was the classic NES series of Nintendo e-reader cards. These were card packs that each contained a classic NES game, such as the original Mario Bros., Donkey Kong, Excitebike, and more. First off, I will say that the artwork and design of this packaging is very charming and cute. It's still in that era where video games had to take this and make it actually look exciting. As for the cards themselves, a single pack contains 5 cards, each of which needed to be scanned twice, front and back, in order to play the NES game. And that seems kinda crazy to me, because imagine swiping all of these cards a minimum of 10 times, maybe more if you got an error, and at the end, you're just playing this. There were also the Super Mario Bros. Advance 4, Super Mario Bros. 3 cards, which actually introduced new content into the game. Level cards allowed you to scan cards to add extra brand new levels, technically making it an early version of video game DLC. It's pretty funny to think that Nintendo retroactively added new levels to Super Mario Bros. 3 by adding new levels to the Game Boy Advance remake of Super Mario Bros. 3. And luckily, the e-reader exclusive levels are included with the modern re-releases of this game on the Wii U and Nintendo Switch. But I saved the weirdest for last. This is Mario Party E, a physical card game version of Mario Party. Now, how do you turn this into a physical card game? Well, included with Mario Party E is a physical game board, as well as 64 e-reader cards. The cards come in different types, including coin cards, item cards, superstar cards, and yes, even minigame cards. The e-reader comes into play when a player scans a card that requires them to play a minigame on the Game Boy Advance. What a weird thing. It would be like if Nintendo released a modern board game that required you to use Amiibo to play. Oh wait. Speaking of which, I think the collectible trading cards that Nintendo is most well known for are the Animal Crossing Amiibo cards. Series 1 of these trading cards were released in 2015 alongside the 3DS game Animal Crossing Happy Home Designer. This game focused on designing homes for clients, and by scanning the Animal Crossing Amiibo cards, you can invite villagers to your location. However, I would say Animal Crossing Amiibo cards really got their start with Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival, the ill-fated Wii U game that forces players to use Animal Crossing Amiibo figures and cards. Whether it was the board game or mini-games, players would have to constantly physically scan their Amiibo figures or cards on the Wii U gamepad. It was, as a villager would say, exactly. But I think it's funny because it actually explains some of the weird markings on these cards themselves. You have a rock, paper, scissors hand sign, which was used for the Rossetti Bop minigame, and the dice indicates that villager's favorite number or lucky roll. If it's not obvious, this game flopped. But hey, at least we got these cute trading cards out of it, right? Well, I don't know if this was everybody else's experience, but I really only saw interest in these Amiibo cards during the Animal Crossing New Horizons craze. Because the Animal Crossing Amiibo cards allow you to invite a villager to your island. And since everyone and their mother went insane over which villagers they wanted on their island, people started buying these Amiibo cards like crazy. It was to the point that Nintendo re-released the Animal Crossing Amiibo cards, and even introduced a Series 5, 5 years after the release of Series 4. And you know what? I was totally a bandwagon follower because I ended up buying quite a few packs of Animal Crossing Amiibo cards. And these are much more like traditional trading cards than the other cards we've talked about. Each randomized pack includes 5 standard villager cards and 1 special holo villager card. Each card features the artwork of a random Animal Crossing villager, along with their name and birth date on the bottom. On the top, we see what type of animal they are, because God knows I don't know what the heck this is, along with the number of the card. The background art is really colorful, which looks awesome when you have a bunch of cards all together. Also, collecting these cards made me realize just how many Animal Crossing villagers exist. Of course, you have fan favorites like Julian, Apollo, and Anka for some reason. Some of my favorites include Agent S, Wart Jr., and of course, my girl, Isabelle. Yay! Yay! Just for fun, I checked price charting to see which of my cards are the most valuable. Molly, Fauna, and Blanca would at least help me recuperate some of the money that I spent on these pieces of cardboard. As for actually using these cards in the game, it's incredibly simple. Just go up to the machine and scan your Amiibo card on the Joy-Con or Pro Controller, just like any other Amiibo figure. I will say, I think that's something that sets these cards apart from any other trading cards. You can actually use these cards for something. I really like that these Amiibo cards serve a purpose and actually give you something in return, while also being very collectible and tradable. With the release of Super Mario Bros. Wonder on the Nintendo Switch in 2023, Walmart had a special pre-order bonus of Super Mario Bros. Wonder themed trading cards. Funny story, I usually never pre-order from Walmart because, especially living in Hawaii, I never know if it'll even arrive on release day. But once I saw these gosh darn trading cards, I was like, and wouldn't you know it, shout out to Walmart for further pushing my deep-rooted anxiety because I didn't get my pre-order until almost a whole month later. So what was the point of me telling you this story? Well, just like these trading cards, there is no point. As far as I know, I don't think there was any way to buy these trading card packs individually. You had to get the Super Mario Bros. Wonder pre-order, which I feel like takes a lot of the fun out of collectible trading cards. You want to try to get a full set, or at least the ones you really care about. But how the heck are you supposed to do that when you need to spend $60 for a pack that just so happens to come with whatever the heck this piece of plastic is? Anyway, the cards themselves are actually pretty nice. On the front, they feature the name of the card as well as large artwork of the characters, such as Luigi, Daisy, and Toadette, as well as some NPCs like the Poplin or the Trodden Piranha Plants. Nabbit here looks like he's about to go boom boom. Meanwhile, on the back of the card, there's a smaller version of the artwork, as well as a description of the characters. Toadette is spunky and knows how to have fun. Not sure exactly what that means. I think it's pretty cool that there is stuff to see on both the front and the back of these cards. They could have just thrown the logo on the back of the card and called it a day, but no, we actually have some stuff to look at and read. The series consists of 15 base cards, 4 holo foil cards, and a limited edition holo foil Elephant Mario card, which are numbered 1 to 1000. These holo foil cards look pretty slick. They have a nice shine to them, and they chose really cool neon-looking characters that complement the holo foil effect. Meanwhile, the Elephant Mario is a crazy full art card, and although I unfortunately wasn't lucky enough to get it in my card pack, what do you say let's check out eBay and see if I can find this card to add in my collection? Holy cannoli. But how can we talk about Nintendo trading cards without mentioning the behemoth, Pokemans? Now, if I had a penny for every Pokemon I know, I would probably have 1 penny. Growing up, I never really played the games. This was just too much reading for my donkey brain, so I've never been super into collecting Pokemon cards. However, from the very brief instances in which I opened some Pokemon card packs, I definitely understand the appeal of collecting these. There's so much interesting and cool variation throughout Pokemon cards. For one thing, with the 15 billion Pokemon that exist now, it's easy to find one that will appeal specifically to you. Like Fido reminds me of my puppy, and I love that. But also, the artwork itself on the cards are all so unique and different from each other. So many different art styles, color palettes, and themes exist throughout the infinite number of Pokemon cards out there. So once again, you're bound to find at least one art style that really speaks to you. I did actually have a little taste of opening Pokemon cards back when Scarlet and Violet 151 first came out, so feel free to check out that video. Let me know in the comments what types of trading cards you guys are into. For now, thank you for watching. Thank you so much to all of our members. My name is Chase, and I will see you guys again soon. Bye.